forecast. All right, good morning. All eyes on Atlanta today, Super Bowl 53. What you're going to need to know before you head to cast your big game bets.
Rain and snow move through the valley and the mountains this weekend could put a damper on your Monday commute. Sherry has the details with their Weather Now forecast.
And a man hit by a car while helping with another crash. Why officials are sending out a warning following this incident.
Now, live. You're watching 8 News Now Good Day, home of Super Bowl 53.
And thank you for joining us for this special Sunday morning Super Bowl 53 edition show. I'm Kirsten Joyce.
I'm John Langlow. You feel special this morning, right?
Don't we all feel special?
So real quick, if you hear the occasional bark, it's not us, it's not Sherry, it's not Nate. We have the Puppy Bowl coming up. There's a live look inside. This is just the practice. They're warming up. They're getting in their stretches. We'll have much more on that later on this morning.
And Nate's the official referee, you guys.
Yeah,
You're out.
It's magic. There's a bark right there. I don't know if you could hear it. Anyway, much more on that later. Let's get to Sherry and the weather.
There's going to be a lot of resistance, I'm afraid, barking against the calls by the ref today.
I know.
Happy Super Bowl Sunday, everybody. We are still a little windy, getting over that big rainy Saturday. It turned deadly for California with mudslides and big gusty winds and flooding rains. We'll talk all about it in your Weather Now forecast. Let's check out our local temps right now. We're in the 40s, but we've got some good southwest breezes out there that are going to stay with us as we dry out a little from this very wet storm, which brought a quarter to a half an inch of rain across southern Nevada. Nice snowfall in our mountains and still some showers spreading to the south of us, but we'll be on our way to clouds and sunshine and keep those southwesterly winds through the day. But it looks like we'll get those temperatures up to about 60 degrees and stay there by game time this afternoon around 3:30. So it looks like a nice day, but a windy day if you're going to be out and about. All right, Kirsten, John, I've got your full Weather Now forecast. We have more chances for rain and, of course, your Super Bowl forecast for Atlanta coming up as well.
All right, thank you, Sherry. It has been a dangerous weekend on Valley roads with several serious crashes.
And the latest happened just after midnight on Tropicana, right outside the Hooters Casino. Excuse me, Metro Police say a pedestrian was hit by a car while crossing Tropicana. That person is in the hospital in critical condition. The driver stayed at the scene and is not suspected of driving under the influence.
Another man hospitalized after being struck by a driver in the northeast part of town. Metro Police say this began when two cars crashed at Craig and Lamb last night. The initial crash was minor. No one was injured. But investigators say a friend of one of the drivers went into the road to help but then was struck by a third vehicle. The 26-year-old is in the hospital in critical condition. Metro wants to remind drivers, please take extra caution on slick roads.
Under normal driving conditions, we're asking people to be careful as they're out there on the roadways, and especially on nights like this. You know, when it's so dark out, when it's so wet out, we ask you to be really careful out there, because the only way that we're going to stop this from happening is by looking out for each other.
The driver who struck the man stayed at the scene and did cooperate with authorities.
Metro Police believes an 8-car pileup in the East Valley was caused by an impaired driver. It happened around 8 o'clock last night on Boulder Highway near Arizona Charlie's. Investigators say 3 people were taken to the hospital, but they should recover. We now know the names of 3 Metro Police officers involved in the department's latest shooting. Police say detectives Travis Cord, Brian Jackson, and Brian Redsell were searching for a man wanted for violent crimes near Alta and Pavilion Center in Summerlin. This was on Thursday. They located that individual inside a home. They asked him to surrender, but he tried to escape, they say, and intentionally drove into one of the detectives' cars. Officers shot at the man. He is now in the hospital in critical condition. No officer was injured. A West Valley homeowner shot in an apparent home invasion robbery is still recovering. It happened Friday morning near Twain and Fort Apache. Metro Police say the man was inside his house when 2 people broke in. They shot him and pistol whipped him. Police say the homeowner then shot back and hit the suspects.
Unfortunately, the homeowner was able to protect himself and safe. But, unfortunately, these guys did something very stupid that may have cost them their life. Neighbors say the victim is stable. As for the 2 suspects, police say 2 men who matched the descriptions from this case were dropped off at a nearby hospital with gunshot wounds.
The day is finally here. Super Bowl Sunday. We'll find out if the LA Rams and New England Patriots will take home the Lombardi Trophy. A live look outside of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. This does mark the 9th time the Patriots will play in the big game since 2011. Kickoff is at 3:30 at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta.
But before that, more than 300,000 visitors are coming into the Valley to watch and bet on the Super Bowl this weekend.
Yeah, this is the first Super Bowl since the U.S. Supreme Court legalized sports gambling everywhere outside of Nevada. Nia Wong joins us live at the Westgate, where, of course, they are expecting a very busy day. Nia.
Good morning, Kirsten and John. We've already had a couple of people come in at this hour into the Westgate Sportsbook, but thousands are expected to pack this place. After all, this is the biggest weekend of the year for the Westgate Superbook. And they tell me that more bets are made on Super Bowl weekend than any other weekend. On top of bets for the game, there are more than 500 props listed. These are expected to bring in the most money for the Westgate. For Jeffrey Beege, who came all the way from Portland, Oregon, prop betting is one of the most exciting aspects when it comes to sports betting this weekend.
With sports betting, it's like the prediction, right? Being right, like knowing that you knew that that was going to happen, and then they give you some money for it. It's kind of a fun rush, you know?
Jeff and his friends made their bets last night to beat the crowds, so expect long lines up to an hour or more if you come down to the Westgate Superbook today. And do yourself a favor, know your numbers before you jump in line, or download the Westgate mobile app and place your bets, then kick back and enjoy the game. Reporting live from the Westgate, Nia Wong, 8 News Now.
Of course, the Westgate is one of many places and ways that you can make bets if you're interested in that sort of thing for the Super Bowl. Meanwhile, we're making our final preparations for our very own Puppy Bowl. Perhaps you can hear them in the background. We have two teams of canine athletes. They'll slobber their way across the field, but only one can take home the prize. But of course, you can share in the efforts. You can adopt one of those puppies from the Animal Foundation. Look at that. Our own Nate Tannenbaum and Sherry Swensk are going to host the matchup in our next half hour.
Sherry's stretching, and Nate's already there supervising.
He's got the flags ready to throw onto the field.
Of course, the Super Bowl is the biggest sporting event of the year. Millions set to tune in to watch the Patriots take on the Rams.
Hundreds of thousands of fans are in Atlanta for the big game, and Kevin E. Martin caught up with some sports lovers before tonight's matchup.
Go Pats, go! Let's go! Let's go! Go Rams, go!
Just hand out that trophy, because based off our eye test, everywhere you look, Patriots flag, Patriots jersey, Patriots, Patriots, Patriots. It seems like New England has already overtaken Atlanta and won the fan vote.
Thanks.
But not so fast.
Yeah, we can take the whole stadium.
Yes, a sea of blue and red has infiltrated their host city. But those fans donning blue and yellow are showing their support, too.
We won in '99 here. We're undefeated in the city of Atlanta in the Super Bowl.
Unfortunately for Wendell Silas, his wife Marie won't be joining him in the Rams fan department. She'll be wearing a different set of colors.
I'm just hoping it's not going to be a blowout where, you know, we wipe them, you know, across the field, you know, so my wife don't get too upset.
You know, I tell him, you know, he got to get some haterade because, you know, Brady is about to win his 6th championship. Yeah. Come Sunday, number 6.
We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see.
And much like the hundreds of thousands of other fans here, they'll be equally as excited for kickoff later tonight.
Patriots,
Go Rams.
Patriots number 1.
Yes.
Patriots number 1. Yes, Patriots.
Rams.
That's so funny. Coming up in our next half hour, Kevin will join us live from Atlanta with more fan excitement before today's game. We are your home for Super Bowl 53. Again, kickoff for the Super Bowl is at 3:30 here on Channel 8. Our evening newscast airs right after the game at about 8 o'clock, and our 8 News Now sports special will come on after Sherry's favorite show, Blue Bloods. To see all of our Super Bowl coverage, just head to LasVegasNow.com. Click on the big game banner at the top of the page.
From the gridiron to the ice. Yikes. Golden Knights are now on a 4-game losing skid. They're hoping to rebound. Last night, Vegas dug an early hole against Florida. The Panthers opened the scoring just 12 seconds into the game. Yoink right there. Max Pacioretty did tie the game in the first. It was 1-1 until Florida found the back of the net twice in the final period. The Golden Knights lose 3-1. Vegas has a couple of nights to regroup before they take on Tampa Bay Tuesday night. What are you shaking your head at?
Nate and his job over there.
It's going to be quite a morning, people. It's going to be quite a morning.
All right, trips to the dentist, they can be a burden, period.
Unless it's for free. Coming up, why dozens of people here in the Valley got their teeth cleaned at no charge.
That's a good thing.
It is.
Punxsutawney Phil has given his yearly weather prediction. How often is he actually correct? We'll have that answer.
Super Bowl 53. You're watching the Valley's news leader with Kirsten Joyce, John Langler, Sherry Swinsk, and Nate Tannenbaum. This is 8 News Now. Good day.
Oh, it's happening, people. 5:43, it's your Sunday morning. It's Puppy Bowl Stadium here in the news studio. We're going to have the Puppy Bowl coming up a little bit later on in the newscast. Nate Tannenbaum will be reffing, supporting the Animal Foundation. Stay tuned. It'll be something.
The fast and furious action of the day. Fantastic. We'll be checking in on Nate for that. Wow.
Nate, settle them down, would you? Come on.
Separate. Hey, we got a game to play. Hey.
All right, let's advance that prompter. Thank you. 100 smiles are now brighter thanks to a free dental work event this weekend. Perfect Smile Dental and the Smiles for Everyone Foundation welcome low-income and uninsured families. Patients came from homeless shelters, domestic violence organizations, and veterans groups.
We have 9 doctors here today on a Saturday morning. We started early at 7:30, and for something we do for payment every single day, 5 days a week, to be able to give this level of service to those in need is just, it's phenomenal.
The Smiles for Everyone Foundation provides free dental services to underinsured communities here in Las Vegas and around the world.
Good news. Sunny, warm weather may be coming sooner rather than later. That from top meteorologist Punxsutawney Phil. Yesterday was Groundhog Day, and the world's most famous rodent, he didn't see a shadow, and that indicates an early spring. Phil's been predicting the end of winter for 130 years, but he actually doesn't have the best track record. Punxsutawney Phil was only right about 40% of the time.
Oh, I wondered. Okay. Well, we, of course, have our very own version of Punxsutawney Phil here in the desert. It's Mojave Max, the desert tortoise. This is video of the desert tortoise checking out his new surroundings. Mojave Max is the official mascot of the Clark County Desert Conservation Program. When he wakes up and wanders out of his burrow at Springs Preserve, it signals our start of spring.
Can the viewers at home hear the squeaking over from the dogs, you
The
think?
puppies are having a lot of fun.
Yes. Well, it takes a lot to put on the Super Bowl. CBS Sports is pulling out all the stops.
Just ahead, how new technology will get you even closer to the gridiron action.
Super Bowl 53.
And it is 5:48. Gorgeous shot there of the Strip. We're welcoming some 300,000 individuals in town for the Super Bowl.
Good stuff.
Well, usually every morning during the week, we check in live with our friends at CBS This Morning.
But it is Sunday, and that means instead we check in with CBS Sunday Morning. Just around the corner and live in New York this morning with us, Jane Pauley. What's coming up at 6:30? Jane, good morning, by the way.
Well, it's about time, guys. Good morning, John and Kirsten. It is Super Bowl Sunday, and what do you do on Super Bowl Sunday? You eat snacks, lots of them. Oh, this morning we're going to be looking at food allergies, a story you'll want to watch before you serve that next bowl of nuts. The Oscars are just a few weeks off, and we'll talk with nominee Sam Elliott, plus Sesame Street at 50, and a true music legend, Linda Ronstadt. All coming up this Sunday morning. See you soon.
Thank you, Jane.
Thanks, Jane. Yeah.
And Sam Elliott played the brother, right, in A Star is Born?
Yes.
Yes, he was excellent in that role.
Oh, that'll be good, for sure.
In the most recent film. He's done many.
Yes, just a few.
He's great. All right, that was a great storm yesterday. You guys were out in it yesterday morning doing that walk
and
run.
we'll talk about it more on Monday, but the Vegas Rare 5K for children with rare diseases, I co-hosted with Nia. It was a wonderful event. It was rainy. It was a little cold
Yeah,
but it was still a wonderful
cool
event.
With the rain,
But
yeah.
after that, last night it was howling.
Yeah, so we had a little rain in the morning,
Yeah,
had a
you
nice
did.
break in the afternoon, and then it came steady in the evening hours. Okay, puppies, quiet
They're
down
still-
over there.
they're still squeaking.
We got a lot of
They're
squeakers going.
No squeaking.
No squeak zone. That's what we need right
You got
now.
squeaking.
All right, let's get to that Super Bowl forecast just right quick. The high today looking at only mid to low 50s around the Atlanta area. Let's get to that right now. Morning showers, partly cloudy this afternoon and evening around game time. They'll just be looking at clouds around Atlanta, so that's good news. Of course, they got the dome. Chances are they're just going to keep it closed just in case some stray showers come along. For us, we're looking at already some cleared out skies. It's beautiful out there. We've got the stars, the planets. It's gorgeous, but we'll still look for some snow in the mountains today. It's 49, and we still have some southwest breezes keeping it feeling extra cool. The Midwest has thawed out. There has been a temperature swing of about 80 degrees for many locations around the Midwest. Look at Chicago at 43 degrees right now. Cleveland's in the 40s. Buffalo's almost there, so they have really thawed out. That polar vortex has really retreated up north. Atlanta right now is at 53 degrees, so that's about where they're going to stay for most of the day, even 60s around New Orleans. All right, let's talk about this storm that really brought even deadly conditions to Southern California. So much heavy rain. As we go back to Malibu and Highway 1, the highway turned to a raging river, bringing boulders down from the hillsides. It turned deadly as a boulder actually struck a car on Highway 1 and killed a person there. But you can see how people were navigating the roads, and it was slippery and wet and treacherous. There are coastal flood advisories still in place, and we still have snow coming down in our own mountains, at least a foot or more so far at Lee Canyon. And again, 2/3 of an inch of rain out on the west side of the Beltway. Officially, we picked up a 1/4 of an inch of rain, so we did really well yesterday rainfall-wise. We'll get the second storm coming through after a nice day today at 60 degrees, clouds and sunshine for all your Super Bowl parties, but rain again Monday, Tuesday, and windy. And then after that, the cold sets in. Look at Thursday. The high is only 49. Overnight lows back to freezing, and we'll just barely recover into the weekend. So I don't know what Punxsutawney Phil was talking about there. Spring is not starting here in the desert yet. It's going to be a cold week.
All right, thank you, Sherry.
You bet.
Well, outside of actually being there, Las Vegas might be the best place to watch Super Bowl 53.
One of the biggest parties for the Super Bowl here in the Valley is downtown. About 7,000 people are expected to crowd into the downtown events center. The venue will transform into the ultimate tailgate party. Free for anyone 21 and older, but you do have to pay for reserved tables or the ultra swanky man caves. The practices, the news conferences, the parties, except for that one downtown, almost over. And it's time to get ready as the Rams and Patriots will get down to business.
Mola Lange in Atlanta with a preview of Super Bowl 53.
Game day is finally here. The Rams and the Patriots take the field for Super Bowl 53 later today. Patriots head coach Bill Belichick says his veteran team had a good week of practice and knows the stakes are high.
Look, the players they're playing the biggest game of the year, biggest game of their life, coaching the biggest game of your life. It's a great opportunity. You put everything you have into it and do the best you can.
For the Rams, 33-year-old Sean McVay is the youngest head coach in Super Bowl history. He's well aware his team won't get any gifts from the Patriots.
And you never see the Patriots beat themselves. They handle situations. Their big-time players make plays at the most opportune moments.
Fans here in Atlanta are also ready. Many have been here for at least a few days and cannot wait for kickoff.
We said if the Pats get into the Super Bowl, we're going.
Right.
There's no doubt in my mind we're winning this thing.
Let's go, Patriots! CBS Sports is broadcasting the game this year and promising a Super Bowl first. High-tech 8K cameras that can zoom in for the clearest replays ever.
The operator scans the replay and puts a point in where they can zoom in on it, so that should be interesting.
And of course, many viewers will be focusing on the commercials. Look for celebrities, cute pets, and a few surprises. Mola Lange, CBS News, Atlanta.
It is 5:54 on Super Bowl Sunday, and Super Bowl Sunday is quickly going to the dogs and cats.
Yes, how animal lovers across the nation are planning to spend the big day with adorable games of their own as well as ours.
Let's go places.
The Super Bowl has several furry imitators, including the Kitten Bowl on the Hallmark Channel, and a similar event's taking place up in Oregon, where the Multnomah County Animal Services folks are offering special deals to dogs. Adopters are able to draw discounts for their new pet, and in the perspective in Portland, oh, just so you know, Portland is in Multnomah County.
Well, in Colorado, Denver National Airport hosted a puppy bowl this weekend. The pups brightened the day for passengers as they made their way through the terminals. The event put on by Denver's Animal Adoption Shelter. The results of the game weren't too clear, though, nor do they matter, folks. Just look how cute those dogs are.
And speaking of cute dogs, here's a look at our own canine athletes. They've been getting a little rowdy there, Nate.
Yes,
Come on, man.
We've knocked over the goalpost once already.
Oh, man.
Exactly.
Come on. All right, our own puppy bowl comes up in the next half hour. The 8 News Now Puppy Bowl. Nate has already got his ref gear on. He's got his whistle. Sherry, they'll help keep score, keep an eye on things. They've already been squeaking all half hour, Kirsten.
Yes, they are ready. They've been up all night practicing their plays. They've, worked out the kinks, and it's pretty cool. We'll be checking in with them shortly.
Look at
We've heard from fans, we've heard from sports bettors. Now it's time to hear from us.
That's right. In our next half hour, the Good Day team, we're going to cast our predictions for Super Bowl 53. That and so much more ahead on a special edition of 8 News Now Sunday morning. Good morning.
On with Techron. Care for your car.
Hello and welcome to the first ever 8 News Now Puppy Bowl! Clearly the biggest sporting event of the day, if you don't count that little Super Bowl thing at 3:30 this afternoon down in Atlanta. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but first let's talk about puppies. Our goal today is to have fun, of course, but to get these puppies drafted to their forever team. So Kelly Leahy's here from the Animal Foundation. Kelly, we've had some fun already getting ready for the show today. Who are we going to see? We got a lot of players here. Tough to tell one from the other sometimes.
I know. We've got some real tough dudes here and a few little girls. We've got Cedric and Zeus and Luca, who's the tough one here.
Yes, he is holding his own. He is not letting anybody move into his territory.
No. And we have Zeus and we have, let's see who we have here. We have Arlo.
Okay,
Yeah.
So we're going to meet these guys and talk more about their characteristics, their personalities.
Yeah.
But as the Puppy Bowl Stadium continues to get ready for the first ever 8 News Now Puppy Bowl, we want to check in on the weather. And for that, we go to Sherry Swensk. Hi, Sherry.
We closed the dome just in case it rained on the Puppy Bowl this morning. But we moved it inside. But we've got beautiful skies out there. No chance of rain for us this morning. That huge storm that hit us on Saturday has moved on to the south and east of us, and we've got gorgeous skies as we see some early light, but we still have some breezy to gusty winds, and those will stay with us as we get through a morning of our Super Bowl Sunday. So it's feeling a little cooler than those 40s, and roads are still damp, and I'm sure your lawns and everything around your neighborhood is damp. Boy, that was some awesome rain. In fact, almost 3/4 of an inch of rain fell up in the far Northwest Valley, and Southern California got hit really hard with flooding and mud flows. Even funnel clouds were spotted in Central California yesterday, close to the coast. All right, we're looking at clouds and sunshine and still some breezy winds. Temperatures up to 60 degrees. What a beautiful day to throw your Super Bowl party. Kirsten, John, it's going to be a gorgeous day, but more rain and more snow is on the way.
All right, we have some new athletes joining us for the Puppy Bowl, too. Three new
They're
ones.
calling them in off the
All right,
bench.
yeah, they are. Today, of course, the biggest sports party of the year, Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta.
And odds are, if you're watching us, really? You're not headed to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You're going to be watching the game here in the Valley. But besides going to the stadium, Las Vegas really is probably the best place to watch the big game. Nia Wong is live at one of those big party spots, the Westgate Sportsbook. Good morning, Nia.
Good morning, Kirsten and John. Long lines and lots of money are expected at this Superbook. In fact, the Westgate says they pull in more bets this weekend than any other time of the year. There are more than 1,000 betting options for this year's game, and as of last night, the Westgate says they've had a couple of 5-figure bets, and they expect the 6-figure bets to start rolling in. They also tell me last year, the state of Nevada wrote more than $158 million for sports betting, and they predict this year is going to be another record breaker. For Harold Flowers and his Fantasy Football League, coming to Vegas to place their bets is an annual tradition where they've seen success.
I made about $2,000 last year. Wait a minute, the IRS is not going to see this, are they? Okay, it was Monopoly money, yeah. It was an experience. It was, I mean, I expected there to be a line. I didn't expect that there would be a line for, you know, a half a mile.
Expect long lines at this Superbook today. The Westgate recommends you place your bets as early as you can get them in. And if you don't feel like placing your bets in person, you can do so online on the Westgate's mobile app. Reporting live from the Westgate, Nia Wong, 8 News Now.
Thank you, Nia.
Today is the 53rd Super Bowl, and it's a global phenomenon.
John Treach has a look at how the game has grown over the last half-century.
Over 100 million people will watch the Super Bowl later today. But in the 53 years of America's most anticipated sporting event, only a handful have ever hosted the pregame show, halftime show, and postgame show. Brent Musburger oozes history with every syllable. Musburger is currently the radio voice of the Raiders, but gained worldwide acclaim as the host of NFL Today, the groundbreaking pregame show on CBS in the 70s and 80s. Brent covered the NFL and the sport's greatest legends and games, and he says the fanfare and coverage of the Super Bowl is a true sports media phenomenon.
You know, John, I remember the tremendous growth in the Super Bowl itself. If you go back to Super Bowl III, there was Broadway Joe Namath, and there we were, a half dozen reporters, went up to his hotel in Fort Lauderdale, and one of the bellmen said, "That guy is Joe Namath out back." We sat there next to the Super Bowl quarterback. People came up, got autographs. Why, you wouldn't be able to get within a mile of a Super Bowl quarterback right now, just a couple of days before the game. You would not be able to get inside the hotel. So the growth has been unbelievable to me.
At the Las Vegas Lights opener, former Green Valley High School star turned Detroit Lions lineman Tyrell Crosby was sitting in the front row. He also had a great view of the Super Bowl 53 matchup this year. Crosby's Lions lost to the Rams but beat the Patriots. He says getting pressure on Tom Brady is the only way for a Rams victory.
It's a matchup I think is going to be one up front. Patriots haven't given up a sack this postseason, and Rams have one of the best pass rushing defenses, so it really depends on the O-line, D-line matchups.
Thank you for that perspective, Tyrell. And you know what? If you disagree with him, say it to his face. Have a great day.
Thank you, John. For now, we're continuing our Pre-game coverage of the 8 News Now Puppy Bowl. We want to get a look at the starting lineups, and Kelly is again here from the Animal Foundation. We got a big lineup. In fact, we just added a couple of free agents, I understand.
We sure did. We sure did. Now we got a game.
Yes, we do. So who do we have?
Yeah. So we've got Patches. Patches is right here.
Hi,
obvious.
Patches.
Yeah, Patches is very silly.
Uh-oh.
Yep. It likes to play rough with his big brother. And then we have, over here, we have Snow.
This is Snow.
Yeah, Snow is a sweet girl. I have to check my scouting notes
Apparently
here.
she loves to explore nooks and crannies.
Yeah, she is an explorer. And then we have Luca. Luca here is the smallest.
Luca is the toughest one of the bunch here, I think.
Yeah, he is. He's not going to let anyone get in his way.
Right, because being the smallest one means that he's going to fight harder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he does. He does.
He's a good one.
And then we've got Arlo, who's the little brindle guy here.
And Arlo's pretty popular, but he's trying to take down the goalpost.
He is. He's not playing fair. No. And he's the fun type.
So as we continue on meeting our players today, the goal isn't really for them to pick up a ball because we have multiple footballs here. We wouldn't really know. But the idea is to get these puppies adopted into homes today. Are they answering the phone today at the Animal Foundation?
Well, these guys are still young, so they're being fostered. So what someone would need to do is email foster@animalfoundation.com.
All right, well, we'll talk more about that. In the meantime, as our Puppy Bowl continues here on 8 News Now, we are streaming it on our Facebook page. Head over, check out the action there, and much more from Puppy Bowl Stadium in just a moment on 8 News Now. In fact, after the break, we're going to go live to Atlanta to check in with our own Kevin Martin. We'll talk to her about the buzz in town there, with Super Bowl now less than 9 hours away.
Now at visitmesquite.com.
.11 on your Super Bowl Sunday morning. During the break, more action here from Puppy Bowl Stadium. We did have some intentional pooping, but it's all good. We had the first penalty for intentional growling. That went to Cedric. But in the meantime, we're continuing to meet our players. They're continuing to take down the goalpost. Holy smokes, things are starting to get rough. We've had a couple of dog piles. Teams are hounding after points. But anyway, we want you to sit, stay, don't go anywhere. There's more Puppy Bowl action coming up. For now, let's send it back over to John and Kirsten.
Automatic 15 yards and a first down.
We got to put the goalpost back up here.
That's great.
It is 6:11. All right, so 8 News Sports Now reporter Kevin Martin. She's had a front row seat to Super Bowl 53 all week.
Yeah, she joins us live from Atlanta once again. She's been there all week, as you mentioned. Kevin, the big day's finally here. What's the mood like? Excitement today? Give us a sense of that feel.
They're watching out for you. Well, good morning, John and Kirsten. Excuse me. Wow. And happy Super Bowl Sunday. It's a little chilly out here. The mood is just electric. Ever since we landed here last Saturday, it has just grown and grown every single day. And since it is Super Bowl Sunday, you can feel the excitement in the air. I mean, it's the biggest game of the season, all culminating here tonight.
Kevin, you mentioned you've covered one Super Bowl before. How's Atlanta done this year as the host city for the big game?
No complaints on this end. They have been absolutely spectacular. As I mentioned earlier in the week, there were 10,000 volunteers literally all over the city, pointing you in the right direction, making sure you were okay, cheering you up. They were always cheering you and welcoming everyone into Atlanta. It has been such a perfect stay here. Really, I don't think there was ever a bump in the road.
All right, and what's been your favorite part about the week and your prediction, lady?
First, I would have to say my favorite part was last night we went to the Taste of the NFL, and it's an event that raises money to fight hunger, and all 32 teams are there, and they have a chef, and they cook something from their home city. So we got to go around and taste all of this delicious food while also supporting a great cause. And my prediction, I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair, both very potent offenses. I'm going to go 37-30 Patriots. I think Tom Brady and Bill Belichick win their 6th Super Bowl ring tonight. Reporting live in Atlanta, Kevin Martin, John and Kirsten, back to you.
Well, hang on, Kevin. We were having our own Puppy Bowl in the studio. Do you have a particular favorite for that? We've got Cedric, we've got Pele, we've got, who do we have?
Zeus, Patches.
Zeus. Any maybe insight on that? I know you've got a dog of your own, I'm sure, who would do wonderful in the Puppy Bowl.
Oh, my dog is a Weimaraner, and he would kill the Puppy Bowl, but I like Pele. What? That's such a creative name. I got to go with Pele. Put my money on Pele.
All right, fair enough. We'll chalk it down. Thanks,
Good choice, Kevin.
All right, so it is 6:14. Coming up next, we're going to go back to the gridiron in Puppy Bowl Stadium for complete tail-to-tail coverage, oh man, of the inaugural 8 News Now Puppy Bowl.
We'll check back in with Nate and the adorable puppies, how you can adopt them as well. Stay with us.
And I'll see you next week.
Now, live, you're watching 8 News Now Good Day, home of Super Bowl 53.
6:17. Let's take a look at where they're going to be at the Super Bowl today. Everybody heading, of course, to the Georgia Dome, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You can see clouds around there. They'll be looking at some morning showers, and then that gives way to partly cloudy skies by game time, which, of course, is 6:30 their time. They'll be looking at clouds and temperatures right around 50 degrees or a little cooler. Right now, we've got a lot of 40s. We've got some clear skies. That storm that brought all that heavy rain to our area yesterday is clearing out. Check this out. 2/3 to 3/4 of an inch of rain up in the far northwest valley, over a foot of snow up at Lee Canyon. We'll get an updated number after 7 a.m. this morning, but many neighborhoods picked up close to 1/4 of an inch. The next storm is already moving in towards the west coast. Mudslides, flooding in Southern California in those burn areas. It was devastating yesterday for Southern California, and they're going to get more rain as well. We'll get more rain tomorrow after clouds and sunshine today. Temps will start to fall back. 60 today. That'll be our warmest day for the next 7. Rain Monday, Tuesday, then mostly sunny, and look how chilly. 49 on Thursday with freezing temps a couple of nights in the middle of the week, so get ready for that. All right, let's get over to that Puppy Bowl Stadium, and Nate.
This is Puppy Bowl Stadium with live coverage of the first ever Puppy Bowl here at 8 News Now. Apologies to the Rams and the Patriots. But they're really not the only game in town. It is the Puppy Bowl here with Kelly Leahy from the Animal Foundation. I think it's safe to say this is the cutest game of the year. We've had a lot of action already. The rules are pretty simple. We got the red team, we got the blue team. Whenever a pup takes a football into either end zone, he or she scores a touchdown, but we're not really interested in a score. We're interested in making sure these puppies get some permanent homes.
We sure are. And we've got some wonderful puppies here. We've got Kona, our little shy one here, but you never know when he might just sneak up on you and make that big goal. And then we have, here on my notes, we have Pele in the pink collar here. She's very independent.
Yes.
Very independent.
And we had Levy just a minute ago trying to act like she wanted to get out of the stadium.
Yeah. Levy is known to be a wild one.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have Cedric, who's pretty relaxed.
Chill?
Yeah, very chill.
Okay.
Yep. And then we also have Zeus, who's very curious.
So the bottom line is, for anyone who's thinking about maybe, hey, this would make, our home would make a good home for these puppies, they're not adoptable today.
But they're almost ready for adoption.
Exactly.
So all people need to do is email at foster@animalfoundation.com.
Okay, foster@animalfoundation.com. So adding a furry member to your family really is a lifelong commitment, as we were just talking about. Let's walk through that adoption process with our Nia Wong.
They're in this world for a short time, but to them, we are their world.
It's better to save a life than to let one go.
Tristan Lichty walked through these same kennels 2 years ago, walking out with a pit bull he lovingly calls Coco.
She's been wonderful. She's been completely perfect.
Today, he's back for more.
I plan on getting me another pit bull. Hopefully I can find one today.
Adding another successful adoption to the Animal Foundation roster.
I think last year we did close to 12,000 adoptions.
Brenda Arceo is the adoptions manager. And while most adoptions are cats and dogs,
anything you can think of, we can probably have here at one point.
She says successful matches are made by checking out their website and by coming down to the foundation.
You get to interact with them in one of our little yards if it's a match.
A pet counseling session and paperwork are the next steps for this lifelong commitment.
We try to make it as easy and convenient for our customers to come and adopt.
While adoption fees vary depending on the animal or promotion on hand.
So we get it all up to date on shots, spay and neuter, and then you take it home once it's ready.
All you need is an ID or bill with your name and current address.
We want to make sure we set you right up for success.
And a lifetime of happiness with your new furry family member. Nia Wong, 8 News Now.
All right, so if you want to take home one of the pups from our very own Puppy Bowl, any of these great animals over at the Animal Foundation, we want you to actually email foster@animalfoundation.com. And we've got the Kirsten and John and Sherry to get in on the action. And there's a lot going on here. It is Puppy Bowl Stadium. We just had Levy kind of do a quarter bark sneak. We've had some intentional growling. We've had some unsports dog-like conduct.
Yes, right now.
We've had a couple of dog piles.
Hi.
We have some illegal dropping.
Oh,
Yes,
the
we've
Rams
had.
fans. Oh, Rams fans. I got all the Rams fans on this side. Yeah.
The bottom line is it's getting a little bit crazy. Who's going to be the most valuable puppy? We can't say for sure right now. Again, all of this is streaming on the 8 News Now Facebook page. You won't want to miss a minute of the action. In the meantime, we're trying to figure out who's who. The scoring, it really doesn't matter because what we've got is multiple footballs, and the dogs are trying to be nice to one another as we're trying to be nice to you guys, and we thank you so much for tuning in. First thing on Super Bowl Sunday morning, we're having a ball here.
All right, so coming up here next on 8 News Now is it's Bedlam here in the studio.
This Puppy Bowl Stadium being torn apart.
We are going to weigh in on the actual game itself coming up. We're going to give our mutual picks for the game. We'll have some of the last final action here from the Puppy Bowl Stadium. The puppies are trying
to get my shoe.
Oh, it's a Sunday morning, people.
Food ain't fast food.
Now, live, you're watching 8 News Now Good Day, home of Super Bowl 53.
As our Puppy Bowl continues, we're looking at some of the slow motion instant replay action. It was fierce as one of the balls headed towards the end zone. And we also have, well, what we have is now puppies over here. We've taken some of them out of Puppy Bowl Stadium.
They're on the bench. They're just taking, they're taking a break. And no injuries, thank
Some
gosh.
extra coaching.
Yes.
Run a post pattern
Yeah.
next time instead of that out route, okay?
Yeah.
You got that?
The replacements have gone in, so just taking a break. They're so cute.
Yeah, they really are.
They
This
really
is
are adorable.
Kona. We have the whole list on our website and, of course, the Animal Foundation's website. They are being fostered right now. They are almost ready for adoption.
Yeah. So before we go, let's talk about the actual humans that are playing in the Super Bowl later today, right here on CBS.
Okay.
Sherry, I think you've made your allegiances well known.
Just wanted to be kind of obvious. Go Rams. Go
All right,
Rams.
so let's make it official here. You can see we got the two teams on the bottom. Sherry, you're picking the Rams.
Yes, I am, because the Patriots, enough already.
Okay, I have gone with the Patriots because they're the best team, and usually the best team wins.
Oh, my gosh. And I think the Patriots may end up winning, but I'm going for the Rams because they haven't done it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I didn't really care. I'm going for the Broncos.
You're always a resistor.
Thank you.
Of course, keep it right here for all-day Super Bowl coverage. We, of course, have Super Bowl pregame coverage leading up to kickoff at 3:30.
You guys ready for the game? You guys got your watch parties all set up? You're good to go?
Absolutely. Got a little bit of dill dip at home.
Oh, wow. We're marinating ribs. We're getting ready. We got all the food going. It is going to be a fun day. And so we just hope that if you want to get out and about, the rain has stopped for now. But take the puppy for a good walk, get them tuckered out so that you got time to watch the game.
And thanks again to the Animal Foundation for bringing in the
Kelly and all of her friends today. Animal Foundation, email pastor@animalfoundation.com. Thanks for supporting our first ever Puppy Bowl here at 8 News Now.
I think it's going to be an annual tradition, Nate. You made it happen.
It's awesome.
Have a good day.